on fiddle and also vocals. Jimmy De Martini, how are you, buddy?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. Of course, Zac Brown Band. We are so excited. You guys are going to be coming into town. This is for Twin Cities Summer Jam, July 22nd through the 24th at Canterbury. It also has Carrie Underwood as a headliner, along with Zac Brown Band and Leonard Skinnard as well. You had to grow up listening to Skinnard, right, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, we are huge Southern rock band fans. Actually, Clay Cook from our band, he used to play with Marshall Tucker Band, and his uncle is in the Marshall Tucker Band. So we know all about Southern rock in our band.
That's awesome. Where are we catching you right now?
I'm in my home studio in the basement of my house. We do recording here sometime. Actually, especially since we've been off the road and quarantined, we've done some recording of our own. We recorded The Man Who Loves You the Most. So I did that down here. I did all my violin parts for that song down here. So this is my little office away where I can get away from the kids screaming a little bit and record some music.
Jimmy, during all of this, people always ask, how are you doing? And I just always say I'm maintaining. How are you? How are you maintaining during this whole thing? What have you been doing to keep yourself busy?
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. Just trying to stay safe and keep the kids safe. And we started with doing the virtual school with the kids. So that was pretty busy because we've got 4 kids and including a kindergartner. So that was kind of tough helping him out. But, now they're back in school. And so we're getting a little bit more time to ourselves at home, just trying to exercise and stay positive. Things are starting to warm up down here. So the kids are playing baseball and I've been coaching a lot. So there's been a lot of good things that have come from this too.
Now, I'm going to ask you about some road stories, just because during the show, we call it Roadies. We talk about being out on the road, doing sometimes just stupid stuff that might be from, work, or maybe, another time you're on a road, just a great story, something that you really just goes, man, if I was going to tell a road story, that's the one. Think about that for just a second, because first we're going to play Martini or De Martini.
Okay.
All right, Jimmy. So I'm going to make a statement, and then you just have to tell me whether it is De Martini, something you did or have done, or it was something really stupid I did while more than likely having too many martinis. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Number 1, has been a member of the band since 2004. Martini or De Martini?
De Martini.
Yeah, I made it easy on you. Now, you're the longest member, aside, of course, Zac, but you're the longest member of this band. Hop came in what, 2005, right?
That's right. Yeah. I met Zac. We were playing a bar in Atlanta, and I met the songwriter who wrote Chicken Fried and Toes. His name's Wyatt. And he said, you need to call this guy Zac. He's playing tomorrow night at the sports bar down the road. He's looking for people to play with. So I called Zac and sat in with him, and I've been with him ever since.
That is so cool. That is awesome. All right, here goes. Number 2, is a kickboxer and loves to work out. Is that Martini or De Martini?
That is De Martini. I hope you wouldn't kickbox after too many martinis. That might not be good for you.
Well, yeah, not successfully by any means. Maybe through shadow boxing, but I didn't really mean to.
Right.
So do you believe in your heart of hearts that you could kick the ass out of anybody else in the band?
Wow, that's a tough one. I feel like I'm on their team, so I'm on their side.
Well, the push comes to shove, you could basically kick the crap out of anybody in the band, right?
I can hold my own for sure.
How did you get into kickboxing and that kind of stuff?
I was actually in between bands and I was off the road, and I remember it was actually a radio contest. They were doing kind of a local celebrity boxing thing, and they were promoting a local boxing club. So I went in there. I didn't compete yet, but I had started to, I heard about it from the radio station. So I got into it, just started boxing and then kickboxing. And I got into jujitsu. And by that time I was starting to play with Zac. So I had to kind of cut back because I had to, protect the hands a little bit. But for a while there, I was thinking about doing a little amateur career. I had a couple of amateur fights, but I think I chose the right path.
I've seen you guys on the road and backstage even, and you guys, like the whole band working out just outside of the bus and stuff like that. You guys You guys have a regiment there.
We have a full tractor trailer gym. So we were on tour with Dave Matthews Band, and those guys do the same thing. They bring out a full tractor trailer, and we went in there and kind of designed ours after theirs. So, we eat a lot on the road. Zach likes a lot of good food. He's a chef himself, and we all like to eat. So we got to burn off some calories before we get on stage.
What is it? What is the whole routine for you guys before, run us through a little bit of like what a day is when you're on the road?
Well, we all kind of go our separate ways after the show. Well, after the show, we sit around on the bus and goof off till about 2 a.m. and we fall asleep, and we wake up and we're kind of all on our own trying to work out or get stuff done. And then about an hour and a half before the show, we all get showered up and get ready and get on Zach's bus, and we all sing together. So we do this hour-long vocal warm-up, and sometimes we just decide we're going to play this song tonight on stage. We never played it before. We'll listen to it on somebody's phone, and we'll be like, all right, let's do it. What are the parts? So that hour before the show is the band connection time. We kick out all the management. It's just the band on the bus, and we sing our hearts out and get ready to go on stage.
Martini or De Martini continues here on the Roadies show. Number 3, played Devil Went Down to Georgia at an ACM after party. Martini or De Martini?
That would be De Martini.
Absolutely. I was there for this show.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. So it was an after party, the ACMs in one of the huge ballrooms there in Vegas. And you guys went up on stage. If you remember this, John Rich became the host of this whole thing. I think Mr. Crown was helping out with that.
So, that would be martinis for him. Yes.
Exactly. But I remember you guys came up on stage because everybody was taking a turn basically, and you guys started playing Devil Went Down to Georgia. And I'll never forget it. It's the first time I saw you guys do it live. I just remember this whole room filled with country artists and celebrities all of a sudden just kind of turn and go, they're doing what now? And it was amazing. I mean, that takes some serious cojones to play Devil Went Down to Georgia, especially when there was a chance that Charlie could have been in the crowd.
Exactly. You got to be careful when you pull out a cover like that. But we are pretty confident in our stage performances because we've been doing it for a long time up to that point in little bars every night. So the first time I played that with Zach, he kind of looked over and he's like, Devil Went Down to Georgia. And I was like, yeah, I know that song. And he's like, we do it really fast. Or I do it really fast. And so just follow along. And he clicks it off. I'm like, oh my goodness, we are flying. But you play it enough times and you can get up to speed on it. So we try to play it fast, and then we toward the end he gets a really cool acoustic solo where he's kind of doing a thing like the violin. So the crowd loves it and we love it. It's a lot of fun.
Number 4, got booed off the stage while singing Toes. Martini or De Martini?
I believe that would be Martini.
That would be absolutely correct. That was right after I had already tried to sing both parts of Endless Love. I got that too.
Well, that's great. Yeah, we've never been booed off stage up to this point. So
how about this one? Number 5 in the final one here before we start talking little road shows or road stories, I should say. Number 5, like Ron Burgundy, married a woman of his dreams, had children. They formed a family band. They were married on a mountain. Martini or De Martini?
That would be Martini.
No, it's actually you. I added the mountain part to
that. I was like, I never got married on the mountain. I was on the beach. Wow, you actually started a band.
Yeah, well, no, but your kids all play, right? I mean, that's kind of a thing for you.
They do. Yeah, they're into music. They come down here in the studio with me, and my older son, he just turned 13. He's a great guitarist, and he's singing, and he does plays where he sings, and the 10-year-old, he plays drums, and so they'll jam with me. It's a lot of fun.
Well, that's got to be so cool as a dad to be able to kind of share that same thing, that same love.
It's great. I love it, and the little ones are catching on too. I also have about to turn 6-year-old and 4-year-old. So they'll grab a tambourine and kind of jam along. They think they're helping out. That's all that counts.
So with Roadies, this is part of my podcast as well. We talk about getting on the road and which, I mean, how badly do you actually want to do that again? But I mean, road stories, like who is the coolest person that you've gotten to meet while being on the road? Like just thinking to yourself, how am I here?
Well, the first time we ever met a celebrity that wanted to hang with us, our album hadn't even come out yet, so we weren't big on a national level, but Kid Rock was on Atlantic Records with us, so he got the album early before everybody heard of it. And so we hear Kid Rock is flying in on a helicopter to your show today, and he's just going to be sitting in the back. And at this time we were playing to 200 people, so Kid Rock would fly into our shows and he'd just sit in the back and then come hang out with us. And we ended up in Detroit one night, and he invites us back to his house in north of Detroit.
Yeah.
And we go to his house, and he's got a full-size basketball court and a swimming pool and a recording studio, and he has this full go-kart track. I mean, these go-karts are no limiter on them, would just fly. And he gets us all, he comes out and he gets us all to sign waivers, and we're like, oh my goodness, what have we gotten ourselves into? And so we're racing around in these go-karts, and Clay Cook, our guitarist, goes flying into the hay barrel, at like 40 miles an hour, and we all run out there. Are you okay? He's like, wow, these things fly. So he was okay. But that was the first time that we ever hung out with a celebrity, after shows. That was really cool to us, and a really, really good guy.
What was a great memory of just being on the road? Something that you guys had, like a particular show, or something happened where like bus broke down, or something like ridiculous when you guys were on the road?
One time we were in St. Louis. I think we were at Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
And we had played a show, and afterwards we were getting a little crazy, and Zac decides, why don't we shave mohawks in our heads? And some of the guys were like, let's do it. So Zac starts shaving a mohawk in his head. We're about to, the next morning, we're going on a morning radio show at like 6 a.m. We all had to be up. He shaves a mohawk into his head. Then Hop shaves a mohawk into his head, and Coy does it. And then they grab to me, and I'm already starting to lose my hair. I'm like, I'm not getting a faux hawk right now, guys. And I said, I'll do it if the drummer does it. And our drummer Sweets has this huge, like, curly head of hair. He's like, no way am I doing that. So we got to escape that. But the next morning, John Hop had kind of forgotten that he did it. He ended up doing his whole head. And so he takes a picture and sends it to his wife that night and forgets about it. And the next day he gets up and he has like 100 messages. What happened last night? So we walk into the morning show the next day, looking pretty crazy, like these like a biker gang or something. And people didn't really know what we looked like yet, because Chicken Fried had just come out, and they were like, what is this band? So that was one of those nights where things got a little out of control, but it was good times.
Jimmy, how does the creative process work for you guys? There's so many voices in the room and so many of you in the band. How does that creative portion go? How does it normally like work out as far as a song goes?
Well, we kind of have the way we do things down to a science now, because Zac will get with some songwriters and have some songs prepared before he usually brings them to the band. That's how the last couple albums have gone. And it works really well because there's not too many cooks in the kitchen at that point. And we might change the arrangement of it or some lyrics here or there, but the song's basically done in his acoustic. And then we just kind of have to spice it up as a band. So we'll add harmonies, we'll add a melody, like a violin lick I'll add for the top of the song. Then we go separate, we do harmonies to go along with Zac's vocal. And you just kind of have to wait for your turn to speak up, because if too many people are talking at once, it does get a little out of control. We got 8 people in the band now, including percussion, drums, guitar players, keyboard, and we have 4 singers as well. So you kind of have to pick your battles on what you want to fight for the song to come out, and just kind of be modest. And it ends up working out. It's become a great process.
With all the songs and everything that you guys have done, Zac Brown Band, of course, what would you say is your favorite song?
Wow. Probably Colder Weather. I think that one is one of the most emotional songs. It kind of speaks to life on the road and being away from loved ones. So it's really easy for me to relate to, and all of us and our families to relate to. And musically, it's just a great song with soaring vocals and big instrumental solo in the middle. So that's one of my favorites to play, and that's one of my favorites that we've ever recorded.
Personally, for me, Who Knows? I love that song so much, and I love the fact that that's one of the songs that you guys always do this on albums, and I love it that you have songs that everybody gets a moment to be highlighted in, and I love that about the band.
Yeah, we always make sure that we have a song where the band can stretch out a little bit. We get to do it a lot live. We get to put a little more time into our set list and our songs where we can stretch out and give instrumentalists time to do their thing. But usually on the album, we set aside one song where everybody gets to show off a little bit.
So obviously you're not going to be just sitting there listening only to your own music. Jimmy De Martini, what is it, would you say, like right now, what is like a sweet jam for you right now that's not Zac Brown Band?
Yeah. I listen to a lot of older rock. So rock from the 90s is kind of my favorite type of music. So I listen to a lot of Soundgarden and Black Crowes are a big part of my repertoire. So anything from the 90s, any rock from the 90s I really get into.
Jimmy, I absolutely appreciate taking the time with us here. We cannot wait, one, just to be able to get outside and watch live music, but to see you guys, Zac Brown Band, play coming up at Twin Cities Summer Jam, buddy.
Yeah, we're excited to be there. I can't wait to get back out in front of the crowd, in front of the fans. We've missed you guys, and we can't wait to be there.
Minnesota in July, you're going to absolutely love it. I know you've already been here during that time, but it's the best time to be here.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
All right, Jimmy, thanks a bunch. Appreciate it, bud.
Okay, thanks.